Today, Nintendo releases a new product which proves once and for all that humans are really just cats, and changes the name of the Switch to the Portmaster, now with Funky Mode. Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Today's episode 26 of Hello Nintendo. I'm your host, Matt, aka Trainass, and joining me today is the most delicious of dairy products. It's Reese, aka Delicious Cheese.
Hi, I like that intro. That went a lot longer than I was hoping for. It was great. It's great to be back.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on the show. And we also have a special guest host with us today. We have Bill, aka Run Jump Stomp.
Hello, hello, that's me. Not delicious at all.
I'm sure you're delicious in your own right. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. Taking some time out of your day and Reese, your evening, because it's, what, 8 o'clock for you right now? Yeah, so thanks for joining me. Before we kind of get into the episode, it's been a while since we've had a brand new or guest host, I should say, on the show. So, Bill, we got a few questions for you. Hope you're ready for them.
I'll do my best.
Excellent. So, Bill, your handle, Run Jump Stomp, where did that exactly come from? How did you come up with that one?
Well, originally I started a podcast called Arcatan's Arcade. There was one whole episode which I quickly deleted. And I deleted it because I had an epiphany. I was trying to think, because nobody could ever pronounce Arcatan. They always called me Artican. So it always drove me crazy, and I kept thinking, I gotta find something that is easy for people to pronounce and easy to remember, because if they're gonna search for this, I want them to be able to spell it right. So it had to be something that was easy to spell and easy to remember and easy to pronounce. And I thought, what are the three things that Mario does? Mario runs and he jumps and then he stomps on his enemies. So run, jump, stomp.
Nice, very, very simple. And that's actually what when I first saw that. I think I saw you on I want to say on one of Josh's podcasts, and that's kind of where I put that link together as well. So that's cool. What would you say your very first video game system was?
Well, I'm not sure what my very first one was. I know that it had plastic sheets that would cling to the TV so that you could change Pong into other sports, but the first one that I would say that I really remember was my Atari 2600. I lived across the street from a golf course, and I shagged golf balls out of the woods and sold them back to the golfers to afford nice. my Atari 2600.
That's awesome. I think you're the oldest person we've had on the show so far.
I'm at least 362, so that wouldn't
at least.
Me.
What were your favorite games on the Atari? I remember mine, so I'm hoping that we have a few in common.
River Raid was one that we played so much. That was such a great game. And I was really excited to see it was the woman who developed it was honored at not the recent Game Awards, but something before that. I can't remember what it was, but I remember seeing her, and they said that she made River Raid, and I was like, oh my god, I spent hours playing that game. And then I think the other one that was a favorite for me would be Keystone Capers, which was you were like a cop and you would run across like a shopping mall trying to catch a burglar.
I don't think I played that one.
Nice. I remember actually seeing that video clip you were talking about as well. It's neat seeing where games have come from. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think most everybody else that usually their first system is like an NES or a Game Boy, or we've had a couple people. I think their first system was like a GameCube or something. So that's really neat.
Mine was a Commodore 64.
And so you have. I think you've got at least one podcast. Nintendo Switchcraft, I believe, is the name of it.
Yep, that's
if I'm not
it.
Mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing Nintendo Switchcraft, and can you kind of give us a quick summary of what it is, like what your pod's about?
Well, the day that they announced the name Switch, I was thinking, well, Witchcraft, Switchcraft, that would be a good title for a show. So I immediately made an episode that just said, hey, this is going to be a show about Nintendo. Make sure you tune in for more. And then, like, that was the first episode. It was like 5 minutes of me just kind of saying that I was excited for the Nintendo Switch. The show, so ever since I think October of 2000, was it 15 or 16 now? Yeah, 2015, when they first did that original, I don't know, like teaser, I guess. The show it's just me. And I basically break down things that I'm excited for and news stories that I find interesting. And it's a short form show. It's usually 30 minutes. I try and get it less than 30 minutes, but it's almost impossible because I go on and on about stuff. And it's 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is when I record that. And I put it out the same day that I record.
Yes, yeah, I've only been listening for maybe the past couple months, and I quite like it.
Oh, thank you.
Especially the short form factor. It's really nice. It's something that we've been trying to do as well, is try and keep it down to about 30 minutes. But yeah, I know what you like. I know what you mean. It's sometimes it just takes. It's not as easy as you think to keep it short.
Not without a lot of editing.
yeah, and sometimes there's just so much stuff that's come out that you want to talk about that it's sometimes just content-wise really hard to keep it short. So. Awesome. We're gonna dive into what we've been playing recently, and Reese, let's go with you. What have you been playing recently?
Yeah, so on the Nintendo side, I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It takes about 50, 60 years to sort of finish the tutorials, so I'm very slowly moving through. I still get a few pop-ups every now and again, but yeah, no, that's just me being facetious. But it is a very long game. So I've been playing that, just sort of moving through the story. And on the Xbox, I have been playing quite a bit of Super Lucky's Tale.
Nice. How is that one?
Oh, it's great. For any Nintendo fans listening who may be unfamiliar, it's a bit of a throwback to sort of like old school 3D platforming. It's definitely no Mario Odyssey, let's say, but it is very competently made, very cute. And it's very much like Crash Bandicoot, like the old school ones, because it's not like open world, full 3D. It has you moving down like a fixed path, and some levels are side-scrolling, and some levels you move forward and backwards into the camera. And it's just fun and cute. It's definitely not going to win any awards, but I'm enjoying it. And also I've been playing a little bit of Ilo Milo.
What is that?
Yeah, what's the last one?
That is a Swedish puzzle game that came out on the Xbox 360 many years ago. And it is just this adorable little puzzle game. Everything in the game is sort of made with like fabric. Everything is a plushie, basically. And it's actually a seriously brain-bending puzzle game set in how can I explain? Did you ever play Cooler World on the PS1, where you were like a little beach ball rolling around in a 3D space? It's kind of like that, but basically you've got this 3D space, and the goal is to make the two characters, Ilo and Milo, move together and meet up. Basically, it's like I say, it's adorable. They do a little dance when they meet up. I'm dancing. The people listening can't see. Can't
confirm he was dancing.
Oh yes.
So and that sounds simple, but you can only move like one block at a time. So and the gravity is all twisted, and you really have to like stop and think about how to solve these puzzles. It's a very clever game. I like it a lot, and it's backwards compatible now, which is why I downloaded it.
Well, that sounds kind of neat.
Yeah.
Bill, what about you? What have you been playing recently?
I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch as well. You're not joking about the tutorial. Like, every time I think, all right, I totally understand the combat system, they're like, here's a brand new lair. Okay, I guess I've got more to learn, and I'm fine with that because...
But my favorite thing is like, okay, I'm 10 hours into the game. Okay, now here's a whole new addition to the menus. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's true. The game is really good, and I'm having a lot of fun with it, though I'm only on Chapter 3. How far along are you, Reese?
I'm definitely further than Chapter 3, but I can't remember the exact chapter name. I'm running around in, that'd be spoilers if I said the places, but I can't, I'm basically about 35 hours in.
Fair enough. The other game that I've been playing a lot of is Chromagun for the Nintendo Switch. It's not actually out yet. It comes out on January 22nd. Have either of you ever played Chromagun before?
Yeah, we actually interviewed the developers on the Party Chat podcast last year, I think. Friendly guys. It was really interesting to hear them describe how they actually design these kinds of puzzles. But I haven't played it on the Switch, but I have on the Xbox.
Well, if you've never played it, it's a really interesting concept, and basically the game feels like a love letter to Portal. And I can't really talk about too much because it's under NDA until the game comes out, but I can describe what the game is. And the game is, you've got a gun that can fire 3 different colors of paint, and then you can mix those colors of paint to make 3 other colors of paint, and you have to solve puzzles in order to get doors open in order to progress through the exit. And it's really makes you stop and think sometimes to try and figure things out, which I like.
I did a quick Google search on it and found some screenshots. You weren't kidding where this looks like a love letter to Portal.
Oh yeah.
Like these levels look like it's like a kiddie version of Portal.
It used to be a mobile game originally, and then they ported it to the PS4 and the 360, and now they're porting it to the Switch. But I actually think that you can tell it was designed originally for mobile because the levels are very small. And you can get a puzzle done in like 2 or 3 minutes if you're good. Yeah. Maybe even less. But that sort of bite-sized gameplay is fantastic for a portable. So I think it'll be like, right at home on the Switch, because you can just, open it up on the bus, whack out 2 puzzles before you get off, and then leave. I think it'd be really great portable.
Nice. It looks like it's on everything. Like it's even on Steam as well.
That's where I played it originally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes out on January 22nd for the Switch. And my review comes out that same day.
Nice.
Very nice.
That sounds really cool. I think I might have to pick that up because I like those kinds of games. Me, I have been playing a little bit of Worms WMD on Switch. I've been playing a ton of Overwatch on my Xbox One, playing with a friend of mine who's just actually starting to get into streaming as well. And I picked up, it was a couple weeks ago, it's called Sparkle Unleashed. And this was a mobile...
I saw that.
Yeah, it's a mobile game that's now on Switch. It's a pretty simple game. My description is going to probably sound very dirty, though. You've got to match colored balls with other, with similar liked balls before they get into a hole. It sounds very simple, but it can get to be quite hectic, especially later on in the levels where you end up having 2 or 3 or 4. I don't even really know how to describe it.
Balls touching.
Well, oh my!
Nintendo podcast PG-13. Yeah. Sorry.
Like lines, and you've got to try and get them all. You need to eliminate all the balls as quickly as possible. And you can get little power-ups along the way, some that'll either change them all to a single color or eliminate a whole bunch, or just kind of like a random one which will just destroy similar ones. And it's for as simple as the game seems, it takes a bit of skill, and it gets quite frantic. But it's perfect for a quick pick-up-and-play type of game. It launches fairly quickly, so... highly recommend checking it out.
I definitely have to. Cool. I really love the fact that we're getting mobile ports on the Switch. Other people are like, mobile ports, but I actually think that mobile gaming really understands the fact that it's portable, so you got to be able to have quick fun, and I'm really excited to see more sort of games, because, if you make a mobile port on the PS4 or the Xbox One, it's kind of a waste.
Yeah.
Like you can play Gems of War on the Xbox One, and I'm like, why would I sit here and play this Match 3 game on my Xbox when I can play it on my phone, you know? But on the Switch, then it's like you can have these big expansive games like Zelda and Mario, and you can also have these awesome little puzzle games, and none of it feels wrong. I think that's what probably the biggest advantage of the system is, actually.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, Reese. The one thing that makes me excited for the idea of some mobile ports is that I hate playing games on my phone because there's no controls.
Agreed.
I think there's a lot of games that would benefit from having like actual physical buttons, which isn't an option when you're talking about on your mobile device.
Yeah. I've been bugging. I have a couple of friends who work for Supercell, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale. I've been bugging them to port. Of course, I don't think they're listening, but I'm like, guys, seriously, Nintendo Switch, port that game. Come on, let's see it. I want to play Clash Royale on my Switch, and that would definitely work with a controller.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's kind of interesting seeing how far mobile games have come. From like even when smartphones just first came out, they were very basic. Now they're quite detailed and quite expansive. It's
Angry Birds, baby.
Yeah. yeah. So it's I have no problem with that. I like seeing all these mobile games that are coming out to Switch as well.
There's that mobile MOBA. Is it Vainglory?
Yeah.
I think it's called Vainglory.
I played that on my iPad.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but do you think that would work on the Switch with the controls?
Maybe, I don't know. I've played a lot of different MOBAs, and Vainglory was my least favorite. What I would prefer to see is Nintendo to make a MOBA featuring Nintendo characters, but copy Smite. Like, Smite has fantastic gameplay, and I think that it would be a really good fit myself.
So it's like Smash Brothers in third person with objectives.
Right.
That'd be alright.
Dude, that's amazing.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
Nintendo should... Have you told this to Nintendo? I think maybe you should.
I'm sure they're listening.
Actually, yeah.
Yes.
We've got one of their marketing guys.
Reggie, get right on that.
Well, we've got one of their marketing guys does listen to the podcast, so...
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we found out at E3 last year, so maybe he'll take you up on that idea. I like.
All right, that one's free, but the rest are going to cost you, Nintendo. Just get a hold of me.
Nice. Hello, Nintendo. Well, let's get into the meat of the episode. Was it last week? There was the Nintendo Direct Mini that finally dropped. People have been chomping at the bit for a Direct. Rumors were flying like crazy about when it was going to happen and what it was going to be. So we finally got it. Did you guys get a chance to watch that mini Direct?
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't think I'm not gonna run through everything that was in there because this was a pretty big list. A couple of notable points though is we've got 2 Wii U games which are being re-released on the Switch. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, which combines the content from the Wii U and the 3DS version into one game. Link and Zelda both get their Breath of the Wild skins, and releases this spring. The other port is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, now with Funky Mode. So that's pretty much a one-to-one port of the Wii U game onto the Switch. You've got a new playable character, which is Funky Kong. He can hover, roll, swim, pretty much over anything. He's immune to spikes, and he's got more health than normal. So if you're having trouble playing Tropical Freeze normally, switch over to Funky Mode. And that's actually spawned quite a few different memes out there. I've noticed there's so many. I think there's even a whole subreddit that has now been created just for Funky Mode memes.
Just for Funky Mode memes? I think Nintendo managed to out-meme themselves, though, in the same week, which is pretty...
Yeah, that's true.
Same month, at least, which is pretty impressive, even for Nintendo.
Amazing.
It is amazing. They were dropping hot fire on the Twitter, actually. I was really impressed.
That was making so many people angry. And they were retweeting past tweets, and everybody was confused. It was quite amusing. It was very amusing. So DK Tropical Freeze drops May 4th as well, and a big title that this is starting to almost like it's becoming normal for the Switch is a big game. Dark Souls Remastered is headed to the Switch as well. So it's a port of the 360 PS3 game. It's going to run at 720p, 30 frames in handheld, or 30 frames at 1080p docked. Comes with all the DLC. It's also coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and that releases May 25th. So what did you guys think of the games that they released in this? Reese, let's start with you.
Kirby! I was excited for Kirby.
Yes.
I don't care about the other games. I just want to play Kirby. And they need to hurry up and port Yoshi.
Woolly's World would be great on Switch too, yeah.
Yeah, but we're getting a sequel, so I'm okay.
That's right.
But I'm just really excited for Kirby, because it's been so long since I got a proper Kirby game like that on Nintendo's mainline console. So I'm very excited.
Yep. Bill, what about you?
There's a couple things that strike me. Well, first off, the game that I'm most excited for is the Mario Tennis game, Mario Tennis Aces. I love Mario sports games, and I think that that's going to be one that's going to be a lot of fun, especially because it's got a story mode. But overall, like the general mini direct, I guess, is a lot of people were upset at having a lot of ports. And I disagree with that. I think ports are good. It's a shame to see some of these games, which were honestly fantastic games on the Wii U, that nobody played because the Wii U was not a popular system. So I think that that's great. And another takeaway that I had from this is that Nintendo is not afraid to add DLC to their games that are ports from the Wii U, like on the Pokemon Tournament DX game. That gives me hope that we'll see Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC where we can have Breath of the Wild tracks, or maybe some Metroid tracks or something like that. I think that that's good.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. You know what the Wii U reminds me of? The Dreamcast. Because the Dreamcast is a failed system that was full of amazing games, and almost all of them ended up ported to the Xbox, like the OG Xbox, or they got like HD re-releases on the 360, and no one complained about that. I don't know why people are complaining about these switches to these ports to the Switch.
I think it's because it's just going from last year's Nintendo system now up to this year's Nintendo system, whereas in the Dreamcast, a lot of people probably never played those games before. You know, if they never played the Dreamcast, you know, or
I mean, statistically speaking, a lot of people didn't play the Wii U games.
Good
either.
point. Yeah, good point. But as we all know, Nintendo fans are very, very vocal and can become very angry over frivolous things. So, but no, yeah, I actually that's a really good comparison, the Wii U to the Dreamcast, and the games.
I love my Dreamcast. Yeah, boy!
That couldn't have gone better. That was great. That was awesome, yeah. The Dreamcast, you're right, the Dreamcast did have some pretty awesome games on there, and yeah, I like mine too. I'm actually kind of excited for the Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I liked playing it on Wii U, and never got to finish it, but so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here. I didn't pick it up on the Wii U. My son, he saved his money and bought it on the DS, but I didn't enjoy. I don't like playing games where you have to manipulate the camera on the DS. It's just terrible. And honestly, I'm done with the DS. Even though, good God, they sold a lot of DSs last month. I'm excited to play Hyrule Warriors, and honestly, I probably would have just skipped it, but after playing Fire Emblem Warriors, I really think that that's a fun genre that I didn't know about.
I'm not really into the Warriors genre. I think, for me, I played Gundam Warriors, and I was like, okay, this is basically the series can only go downhill from here because I'm in giant Gundams, killing hundreds of other giant Gundams. So I haven't touched the series since then. But I'm not a huge fan. I think it's just because it's brainless fun, but it's not for me. You know, running around mashing the attack button.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I mean, I'm not hating. I understand why people like it, but.
I would say, if you can get your hands on for cheap, like if maybe you can borrow it from a friend or somebody, check out Fire Emblem Warriors, because they added strategy to it. They really did a good job integrating the Fire Emblem stuff, like the weapon triangle and that kind of thing, and the overall strategy of placing your heroes on the maps in good spots, or pairing people up. It added a lot of strategy to the game, which made me really like it. Now, hopefully that kind of stuff is in Hyrule Warriors, but maybe not, because that is very Fire Emblem stuff.
Well, sounds interesting, though. I didn't actually know it did that.
With the so, I know it's not Hyrule Warriors, but the Luigi's Balloon World is some new DLC. I know, Reese, you finished Mario Odyssey. Did you? Do you still have your copy of Odyssey? Because I know you trade those in once you're done with them.
Yeah, I'm not a collector.
Right.
I don't accumulate stuff, which is unusual for a Nintendo fan. I am aware, but yeah, no, I played through it and finished it. Yeah, people listening can't see, but everyone's pointing to like their amazing collections sitting behind them, and I'm just in an empty room.
Mine's in front of me, so I can't point to mine.
Scandinavian living is very zen. Our houses are pretty Spartan by American standards.
Bill, are you going to pick up the DLC when it drops?
Well, I'm happy that it's free, that's for sure. So I'm definitely going to check it out. And as a streamer, you know, on Twitch, I think that it's something that it really lends itself to Twitch, because you could have your viewers, they can go and hide balloons, and then you can try and find them, and you know, have these competitions with your audience, which seems like a lot of fun to me. So I'm definitely checking that out.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. This is going to be a streamer's dream, for especially, you know, for interacting with their audience. That's a good point. Did you notice? And actually, somebody else pointed out to me, but when it shows Luigi with the 3 balloons above his head, that's the Super Nintendo logo on its side.
Is it?
It is. If you do a Google search for Super Nintendo logo, when it's normal, it's green on the left, yellow, I think it's red and blue. And then when you see Luigi in the trailer, it's if you've rotated the SNES logo 90 degrees. And I can see Bill's got to go get his...
He's going to pick up his SNES?
Yeah. Now, it may not show on the North American SNES, but you can see it on the Super Famicom.
Famicom,
sorry, Famicom.
Man, the Super Nintendo for the US is ugly. It's gross.
It is hideous. And those purple and less purple buttons, good God.
And then it yellows, turns a disgusting yellow color after a couple decades.
Only part of it, though.
Right, yes, only part of it. But yeah, if you do a Google search for SNES logo, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And then I think I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did a comparison. But then if you watch that trailer, when you see Luigi show up, he's got yellow, red, and blue balloons, and then he's the green balloon. So it's the SNES logo on its side.
Nice.
Give it up for Nintendo for hiding little things like that.
That's brilliant.
They're good at that.
Did you guys play Dark Souls? Are you fans of Dark Souls?
I played Dark Souls 3 a little bit, and it's a very frustrating game. I can't say that making a Dark Souls game on a system that you could throw is really the best idea. I mean, I'm a
this is going to generate more sales, man. This is great. Yeah. This is Nintendo's master plan, you know, broken Switch, buy a new one.
Yeah, this is how they're going to sell, what, 20 million units now is by releasing Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love those games, so I'm looking forward to checking it out, but I'm not excited for it. But I'm excited that it's on the Switch for the people who are looking for that. And one other thing that's really important to think about is that it's on the Switch, and a lot of people who have Switches are usually people who only buy Nintendo consoles, so this will be their first experience with a Dark Souls game. So I think it's good to bring it. I'm glad that Bandai Namco is bringing it to the Switch.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole new generation of people who need to get good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen videos. I've heard enough people talking about it that I don't think I'll be picking it up. Besides, I already have Hyrule or Breath of the Wild. Sorry, so I already have my Dark Souls type of game.
I got to be honest. I'm not a big fan of Dark Souls simply because Platinum Games exists, and why would I play a 3D Japanese slash 'em up that's not a Platinum Games game when Platinum Games exists?
Fair enough.
Like, I mean, it's just, you know, why if you've got the option, you know, between chocolate and you know, sand, I know what I'm putting in my mouth, but yeah, no.
Hello, Nintendo!
So our second topic is something that came way out of left field. I don't think anybody outside of those working at Nintendo working on this would have had any kind of a guess as to what this is. I'm sure this is Nintendo's plan to help remove all the pesky trees in the world. It's called Labo, and it's interesting.
Cardboard.
Yeah, it's cardboard controller accessories. Yeah,
it's cardboard and shovelware.
Yeah,
the experience.
This is clearly the most Nintendo thing Nintendo has ever done.
Oh, it's definitely up there. I mean, Nintendo were toy makers for almost a century before they started making consoles. So in a way, it makes perfect sense. Although, I just wish they hadn't used cardboard. I wish they'd used something like plastic or something a bit more. I mean,
durable.
See, this is marketed to kids, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Matt, I know you have kids. Do you have kids?
I have kids too.
Yeah. Do you really think that the cardboard will last at all?
No. No.
Like 5 minutes, it's dead, right? It gets bent the wrong way, gets soda spilled on it. I don't think cardboard was the right way to go. I mean, maybe if you can just go out the back and grab some more, but then again, why wouldn't you just buy the software? I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. Only Nintendo could have pulled this off, and it's like they seemingly created it just for the sake of memes.
Yeah.
They made Daddy Patcher a soothsayer.
Yeah. I'm in the same opinion. This is not these things are not going to last very long. My kids are 3 and 5, and I know if I get this, they fight over just a normal controller because they want to take turns or play games. When you start adding in a cardboard accessory, especially that robot one, yeah, that looks really cool, but it's a wearable, and that's probably going to last, I think, the shortest amount of time out of any of them.
I already made my own robot.
I saw that. Yes. Yes. That was I'll Bill, I'll have to send you the picture of it. It's quite impressive. You can tell that Reese doesn't have too much time.
I'll drop it into the chat right now while you're talking.
You can tell you got too much time on your hands. So these controllers are going to make heavy use of that IR sensor that's in the one Joy-Con, and I know people aside from 1-2 Switch, which had a few games that used it, hasn't been used by really anything. So it's kind of interesting to see that they're going to use that sensor.
Yeah, Kimishima told us back in December, he said, look, we're going to be doing something with the IR sensor, or IR camera is what they call it, and you're going to see how it's going to be used. And I personally hope that this isn't the only use that they have for the IR camera. I hope that they find other ways to incorporate it, and maybe into a Mario Party game or a WarioWare game or something crazy like that. 1-2 Switch I didn't play, but the whole sandwich eating. Yeah, the whole sandwich eating thing just seems silly, but
it's really funny when you've got a whole bunch of adult friends around, and it's basically humiliate yourself the game.
Yeah.
That's the entire experience. There's the picture, by the way.
Oh man, that's awesome.
When we post this podcast in Reddit, we're linking this picture as well, and I'm tagging you on it. So
that's awesome. I love that.
I subscribe to the Japan crate, which, for those who don't know, basically you get sent once a month a box, like a crate full of random Japanese food, mostly. It's for part of my work, and basically as a joke, because Nintendo Labo released that day, so I posted the crate on my Twitter account, was like, guys, I got my Nintendo Labo, but I can't figure out where to plug in my Switch, just as a joke. And the memes kept on rolling, so I thought, okay, I've gone this far, I have to go all the way, and this picture is the end result.
It is glorious.
That's fantastic. I especially like the pajama pants that go along with it.
Yes, it is. I'm sure people are probably quite confused, so you'll have to check out this picture. You'll have to see it. So it seems kind of expensive too. The whole thing. I mean, the robot pack is $80. The variety pack is $70, and like we've all been saying, it doesn't seem like it's going to last very long. I'm hoping that replacement packs are pretty cheap. I think
the second that those hit the streets, there's going to be scans of the blueprints available online everywhere.
I've been thinking about this a lot. And the more that I think about it, the more that I think that downloadable patterns for Labo is a terrible idea, because, you know, as somebody who has a lot of cardboard in their house from your Japan crate, you should know that folding cardboard precisely is a giant pain in the butt.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So having them pre-cut makes the whole process a lot easier. And I think getting, like, you could print out the pattern and then put, you know, trace it on a piece of paper. It's going to be terrible to try and fold that stuff. So I do hope that, you know, I agree that I hope that the replacements are cheap. Especially because they don't cost very much, but Nintendo might be going for like the Razor Blade, the Razor Blade version of
cardboard.
Gosh, how do I? Well, yeah, well, you know, you sell the razor super cheap, and then you sell the blades for an extravagant amount.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the PC company Razor Blade, who have like.
Oh no,
I was going to say, so they're going to put like colorful LED lights inside the cardboard as well.
Oh, I guarantee you, people are going to do that anyways.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to see what the people who, like me, have too much time on their hands come up with when they get these Labo. Some engineers are just going to be like, oh yeah.
I was just going to say, I would be more interested to see 3D printed stuff, where like somebody posts stuff on Thingiverse and they get it right, and then you just print it out, and now you've got the plastic parts that you're looking for, unless of course Nintendo slaps them with a cease and desist.
I podcast with a 3D printer. He's a bit of a semi-popular 3D printer on YouTube, and he's just nuts about this. And as soon as he saw the Labo, he was like, "Oh, I'm 3D printing all this stuff, baby! Like, don't even bother sending me the cardboard. It's happening. Like, it's gonna be plastic all the way." So he's thrilled.
I can almost guarantee he's all over this, or he's already starting to to plot and plan.
Yeah. As soon as it happened, he just messaged me right away. Like, in fact, within 20 minutes of the announcement, he sent me screenshots of him in whatever 3D editing program he uses. I can't remember the name of it. He started like copying the shapes already. Like, so.
I think this might be something that's going to push me to get a 3D printer.
We can pick one up for like $400 nowadays, like a decent one.
Yeah,
the
CR10.
Yeah, they're. I mean,
well, considering they're thousands normally.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they've definitely come down a lot in price. So, no, it's really going to be interesting to see this once it's out. See some of the complaints. Once people actually start getting their hands on these things.
Paper cuts.
I have remind me to unmod myself when that thing releases.
Hey, that's why I left the
I'm just gonna walk away from Reddit. Goodbye.
Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch subs are going to be they're going to be so much salt. There's going to be so many angry people, I can guarantee it.
I will say Toy Cons, awesome name.
That is so good. That is a great name. At first I thought it was someone just being clever, but Toy Cons, it's the thing. It's great.
Yeah. No, it's so I don't know. I showed my wife and kids the video this morning, and I was like, no, this is not coming into my house. As soon as that video was over, my 5-year-old was jumping up and down screaming, "We have to get this! When can we get this? Can we go and get this?" I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm getting a Labo then.
Yeah, I made the same mistake of letting my son watch it. He's very, very excited for the robot version. I personally think the variety pack is a much more interesting option. But the thing that makes me unhappy about Nintendo Labo is the fact that I don't want this stuff in my house. I mean, yeah, if you look behind me, I've got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
But I don't want cardboard crap in my house. It's the same reason I don't want to have, you know, a rock band drum kit and guitars and all that other plastic stuff all over the place. This stuff takes up a lot of room. And what are you going to do after you build it and then the kid takes it off? Where are you going to put it? You got to find some kind of way to store it. It's not the best way to do things, I don't think.
And it has to be stored somewhere dry, because, you know, moisture and humidity is going to destroy the cardboard.
And the cats don't know where it is.
Yeah, I'm just... That's my cat. She's 20 years old, and she's deaf. So when she wants to say something, it's quite loud.
She's chiming in. She's voicing her opinion on Labo.
I don't
get it.
I'll tell you what, she probably wants it because it's a good scratching post.
What do you think of Labo?
Exactly.
Nope. She's not having any of that. She's gonna sit on my shoulder instead. But I did mention that you know, cats love cardboard boxes, so Nintendo is secretly run by cats, I think.
Well, that's the point I made at the beginning. They think we're all cats. I don't know. It's gonna be neat. I think all the 3D printer guys out there are probably foaming at the mouth, you know, about being able to create and then turn around and sell these things.
I think it's just going to be nice to get a bunch of kids interested in the makerspace. Like there's a real chance to. I mean, Labo is just a Japanese person trying to say lab, Labo. It's Japanese for lab. This is actually the Nintendo Lab, but because it comes from Japan, it's Labo, and it's just a cool idea. I really hope it gets lots of kids interested in the makerspace, because, you know, we need more engineers. Basically.
Oh, I guarantee you it will.
I think personally that a better name for this would have been Nintendo Switchcraft, but that's just personal. That's just me. One thing that I will say that I would like to see is something for much younger kids, where you can have like cardboard letters, cardboard shapes, cardboard numbers, and the right Joy-Con is supposed to be able to recognize these shapes. You know, have the TV say, hold up the A, and the kid picks up the A and holds it up, and it recognizes it. That would be a really cool thing.
I thought you said that the second idea was not free.
Curses. All right, Nintendo. More after that one. Oh, here's another one. Here's another free one, apparently. What if, you know how, you ever watch Pokemon and at the end of the show they're like, who's that Pokemon? They could have little cardboard Pokemons that they'd say, who's that Pokemon? And kid hold up a Pikachu and it shows up and it registers that the kid did it right. Okay, 3 free ones and now I'm done.
Actually, your second point just sounds like kind of an evolution to the Super NES game Mario Fun with Letters and Numbers.
I never played that.
Me neither.
Me either. Such a thing exists?
It does, yeah. There's actually a number of learning games that were on the NES and Super NES that when I've modified
I always
systems,
thought it was SNES until I met the internet. SNES. That's what I called it as a kid.
NES and SNES.
Yeah, but apparently that's wrong.
Oh, well, what does the internet know?
They can be wrong if they want to. I say SNES, I say Super NES. Just don't say, oh gosh, what is the one thing that you're not supposed to say? Well, now I can't. No, there's one that makes sense.
Nice knowing you guys.
Remember it now. Just cut that part out.
Yeah.
Press F to pay respects.
Yeah.
Hello, Nintendo!
That about wraps it up for this episode of Hello Nintendo. I'd like to thank Reese and Bill for taking some time out of your days to join me and talk the Direct and laugh at Labo and whatnot.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Do itashimashite.
So, Reese, if people wanted to find you online, where could they find you?
They really probably don't want to find me online, if I'm honest. No, you can find me on the Nintendo subreddit deleting your posts. You can find me on the Xbox One subreddit doing the same. And you can probably find me on Twitter posting my pictures of myself in giant robot cardboard suits, which is @DeliciousCheese, but that's cheese with a Z.
It's definitely worth a follow. There's some pretty good cardboard mechs.
I wouldn't if I were you, honestly.
And Bill, what about you? Where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at RunJumpStomp. If you're looking for the podcast, it's called Nintendo Switchcraft, and you can find that at runjumpstomp.com/listen. And if you're into retro stuff, make sure you check out my YouTube series, which is all about NES games that were released in North America. The last episode that I worked on was Kung Fu.
Nice.
Nice. Also, I should plug the Party Chat podcast while I'm here, because they'll kill me if they find out that I came on here and didn't plug it. You can find me on the Xbox One Party Chat podcast, one of the largest fan podcasts in the world for Xbox. We have lots of good guests. Please come and subscribe.
Don't worry, I plug the podcast. I plug your podcast too when I can. So you guys always get that.
Give me all the clicks, baby.
Yeah. You can also find me on Reddit under Trainass, usually on the Xbox One sub, like Reese deleting posts that I just don't like, all that mod power. You can also find me on Twitter at ReggieFizameme, and I'm...
That's the best.
Sorry, that makes me laugh every time I hear it.
I get that from everybody. Everybody loves that name.
It was amazing when you came on the Xbox Ambassadors podcast as a Reggie Fizz-a-meme. Everyone was like, what?
Yeah, they couldn't call me Trainass, so they just kept calling me Train. I'm like, no, just call me Reggie. Just call me Reggie. But apparently they still want me back on that stream as well. I don't know. I must have done something right.
Just not with smoke grenades.
Yeah, no more smoke grenades in small rooms. I'm also starting to stream more on Twitch. I'm actually streaming N64 games and Super NES games, so you can find me on Twitch under Trainass as well. So with Wii titles now being released on the NVIDIA Shield in Japan, it seems as if Nintendo has now officially gone third party, and as a result, we must ask the question again that's been asked since the dawn of gaming: is Nintendo doomed? So we'll see you next time on Hello Nintendo.
Funky mode.